Now, before we start learning how to attack wireless networks, we should try a few tools that will make us familiar with how wireless connections work and really what's going on behind the scenes when you scan the over-the-air signal and connect to a certain wireless network. So for this, we're going to start with a very basic tool called Insider or INSSIDer. In this tool is really basic, but it really shows you a comprehensive information about wireless connections that are surrounding you. So we're going to go ahead and wait for a few seconds until the tool opens and loads the wireless driver. Now the first interface or tab shows you a few tools and tabs to help you understand what this tool can do. And if you click on additional tools, it's going to show you a couple of other tools that you can try for further or deeper wireless analysis. Okay. Now, we can see here that the Wi-Fi adapter is loaded and recognized. We'll click on Networks, and you can see that it is already scanning, so there's no start or stop button here. It started to scan once we opened the tool. We can also see here that each wireless network has a lot of information related to it. So let's find out what this information is. So I'm going to sort them here by the SSID so that they don't keep moving up and down. And we'll select airport. Now I can see the signal of the airport here. I can see the channel, which is the channel that it's working on, the type of security, the MAC address. And then moving the bar to the right side, I can see looks like the maximum rate, wireless standard, network type, and the vendor for that wireless connection on that wireless access point. On the right side of the tool, we can see a graph for this access point with some details about how its signal is performing. Now, all the information that we saw here on the left side, we can see again on the right side, like the channel, the co-channel overlapping, how many wireless connections are overlapping with the access point, and rate. 802.11n is the standard, and the security is WPA2 personal plus the MAC address. Now, the downside, I can see many graphs, and it looks like they're moving in colors, but what's the meaning of all these graphs? Notice here I've selected the airport, and it shows me the airport wireless connection down in the graph. Now, if I select Android AP, it shows me which one based on the graph. So this is the signal here, and this is the channel that the access point can operate on. Now, to understand it a little more, I'm going to go ahead and do some filtering here, and I'm going to go ahead and remove all the standards except the 802.11g. So I'll go ahead and select this one here. Now, so you see that this point for Carla overlaps with 4 other APs and code channels with 8 others. So there are now 4 other access points that are working on one channel. Now we call this co-channel interference. If I look over here, I have that this is 1 and 2, and looks like this is 3 and 4 and 5. Now one for Carla, and the other 4, the rest might be 11B or N, we're not quite sure yet. The overlapping occurs based on the APs, are what the APs are operating on, or channels near Carla's channel, like channel 2 or 3. The 802.11 standard is 100 megahertz wide, and each channel operates 20 megahertz within that spectrum. Now the reason they interfere is that the 20 megahertz standards or starts before the channel number and then ends after it. So let me give you an example. Channel 6 starts from channel 4 and ends on 8. 2 channels are interfering from both sides, 6 plus 10. This mode expands the channel bandwidth from 20 megahertz to 40 megahertz to achieve the 270 megabits per second rate or higher. Now the router selects the channel expansion on a frame-by-frame basis to avoid interference with the data transmission of other access points. Now this mode uses 2 channels, but only the first channel is listed in the channel pull-down menu. The associated channels in this mode are 1 and 5, 2 and 6, 3 and 7, 4 and 8, 5 and 9, 6 and 10, and 7 and 11. Now, this is the fastest mode and is compatible with older wireless stations. I have 16 other access points overlapping. Some of them might be overlapping on channel 6 and others might be overlapping on channel 10. Now, we have many other tools that can do the same job, but this kind of tool analyzes for all the wireless connections around us, and it gives us detailed information about them. And it also reveals the hidden broadcasted SSID, and it shows us if a network was created with more than one access point. It shows us all the access points for that wireless network and the configuration of each of them.